Hello everyone, this is Travis Tressler at Play Tennis Gainesville, and I'm here to talk to you today about the forehand approach shot. In today's modern game, a lot of players are staying at the baseline, getting into long rallies, hitting back and forth with their ground strokes. Therefore, I feel like the approach shot is an underappreciated and underutilized stroke in today's game. When we talk about the approach shot, there's two ways we can hit it. One way is the slice, where we're hitting with underspin, approaching that net. The second way is going to be with topspin or flat, where we're being a little more aggressive and getting into that net as well. With the forehand approach shot, I want to go over both the slice and topspin today. Talk about the grip we'll use on both shots, the footwork, the swing path, strategy, and then finally some drills that you can do at home to help you improve that approach shot. The first shot I want to talk about is the slice forehand approach. In today's game, if you're watching tennis on TV, watching the professionals play, you're going to see a lot of them taking big topspin swings at their approach shot and being really aggressive when they hit it. However, the slice approach shot can be very effective in changing things up and helping you get to the net. The first thing we need to talk about with our slice forehand approach is the grip we're going to be holding the racket with. We're going to be using the continental grip. An easy way to find this is to hold the racket in your non-dominant hand on the throat. For me, I'm going to use my left hand since I play right-handed. I'll high five the strings with my right hand, slide my hand up, and slide my hand down to the bottom of the grip. And if you look closely, you can see a bevel right here. My front knuckle should be lined up with this bevel here. When we're holding that continental grip, our racket is going to be facing slightly up towards the sky, and that'll help us get slice on the ball when we're swinging. Now that we have the grip for our slice approach shot, I want to talk about our swing path, how we're swinging at that ball, and how that's going to help us get slice or underspin on that shot. The first thing we need to start off with is our backswing. So it's really important that when we take our racket back, we're not taking it back all the way. We want to shorten up that backswing and focus more on the timing. That bigger backswing, it's going to be harder to time that ball. We want to take it back a little bit shorter here. Next thing, we're going to be swinging high to low when we're hitting with slice. So my racket will start up high, I'll bring it down, low, and then bring it back up high at the end. It's almost like a banana shape. Starting up high, bringing the racket down, coming back up high with that follow through. The reason we call this slice underspin is because we're coming underneath the bottom of the ball when we're hitting it to get that underspin, that backspin on the ball, and keep that ball low to the ground when it bounces. The next thing that we need to talk about with our approach shot is the footwork. So a lot of people fall into this common error and they think because they're coming to the net, they need to be moving their feet when they're hitting the ball. The approach shot is just like every other shot. We need to get those feet set while we're hitting. Once we complete that swing, we want our momentum going into the court. That momentum will carry us in and we will follow it in. So you're getting ready, you're moving up to the ball, feet set, hit it, let that momentum carry you in for that volley. The last thing I'd like to talk about with our forehand slice approach are 2 strategy tips to help you with the shot. The first tip is going to pertain to how we want to hit this approach shot. When we're slicing the ball, it's called an approach shot for a reason. We're approaching the net. It's a setup shot to help us hit that first volley and put that ball away up at the net. So when you're hitting the slice approach, we don't want to try to overhit it. Give yourself a big target, get that ball in the court, set yourself up for that first volley, make your life easier up at the net. People have a tendency, they want to try to smack that ball as hard as they can, put it away. It's an approach shot, setup shot. We're trying to get to the net, set ourselves up for that volley. Second tip I'd like to talk about with our slice is a good time to hit it. Great time to bring out the slice is when that ball is low to the ground. It's very difficult when you're moving forward, you're in that court, to hit with topspin. You got to get underneath that ball, get it up over that net, and get it to land back in the court. With the slice, we can shorten up that swing, get low, keep that ball low over the net, and set ourselves up for that first volley. Now that we've gone over the forehand slice approach shot, I want to talk about our forehand topspin approach shot. So this is the shot you're going to see with professional players where they're taking big swings, really ripping that ball, being aggressive, and hurting their opponent. However, just like I talked about with the slice, we don't always want to try to put that ball away off the approach shots. If you hit a winner, that's great, but this ultimately is a setup shot, so you're being aggressive, trying to hurt your opponent, but you're really trying to set yourself up for that first volley so you can put that ball away with the volley. The first thing that we need to talk about with our topspin approach shot is the grip we're going to use. So there's a variety of different grips we can use for our topspin forehands. We can use that continental grip just like we talked about with the slice to hit with topspin. We can use our eastern grip where we start to slide our hand towards the bottom of the grip, the racket there. Use a semi-western or a western. None of these grips are wrong. It's whatever you are using that's easiest for you to hit with topspin when you're hitting your forehand. Now that we have our grip, I want to talk about the swing path we're going to use with our forehand approach shots. Same thing as the slice, I want to encourage you to shorten up that backswing. If you have a little more time, your opponent hits that ball a little softer, you can take that backswing, but be careful that you aren't overhitting that ball. So I'm here, I shorten up that backswing. Just like topspin with our ground stroke, we're gonna wanna swing low to high. So that ball, that racket, has gotta get underneath the ball first. We come forward, and we're swinging high, finishing around our shoulder. If that ball's up a little bit higher, since we're moving in, we don't have to drop the racket as low, but that racket still needs to get underneath the ball so we can get that topspin swinging low to high. Next, I want to talk about the footwork for our topspin forehand approach shots. It's going to be extremely similar to our slice. We're coming up to the ball, getting our feet set, hitting that ball, momentum going into the court, finish my swing, I'll follow it in. Same thing as the slice, you need to get those feet set. We don't want to be moving those feet, running through it while we hit it. Sometimes we don't have any other option if we're moving a lot. We gotta move our feet while we're hitting, but in an ideal world, we're gonna get our feet set first, complete our swing, and then follow that shot in to the net for a volley. The last thing I want to talk about with our forehand topspin approach is the strategy and the ideal time to hit that shot. So there's two things I want to talk about with our topspin approach. The first thing, I can't reiterate this enough, is don't try to overhit that ball. We all have that tendency. That ball's sitting up high, it's slow, it's a weak shot from our opponent, and we just want to crush it. It's not going to do us any good, however, if we're not getting that ball in the court. The approach shot is a setup shot. So that's why I encourage you to shorten up that swing, get that ball in the court, be aggressive, yes, put your opponent in a defensive position, but get it in and set yourself up for that first volley. The second thing I want to talk about is a good time to hit the topspin approach shot. Since we talked about with the slice, how it's a good time to hit it when that ball's low, it's going to be the opposite with our topspin approach shot. When that ball's sitting up high, it's actually going to be easier for us to drive through that ball and be aggressive, push that ball through the court, and really hurt our opponent. So if you see that ball up high, take that topspin swing, be aggressive, follow that ball in, put away that volley. The last thing I want to go over today with our approach shot, both slice and topspin, are some drills that you can do at home to help you improve these shots. First thing is a shadow swing, just like we've talked about with some of our other shots. So if you have a mirror, video camera, your phone, whatever it is, watch yourself hit it and really focus on that footwork and do it while you're moving in that real life situation. The second thing we can do, we've also talked about this with some of our other shots, is hitting against a wall. So you can drop it into yourself, hit it, move forward, hit against that wall, catch it, do the same thing again. However, I want to give you a drill that you can do without a racket, and all you need is a ball of some sort. So you can do this with a basketball, soccer ball, or a tennis ball. All I'm going to do, start back here, I'll toss it at the wall, let it bounce, get my feet set, I'll toss it again, and I'm going to follow that toss in, and I'm going to try to catch that ball out of the air the second time I throw it. So it'll look like this. I'll toss it in, I'll move up, get my feet set, throw it again, try to catch that ball out of the air, work on getting our momentum going forward. Toss it, I'm going to catch it, momentum going forward, catch that second ball out of the air. This is an easy drill to do. If you have a wall, if you don't have that, you can do this with a partner, where you're actually tossing it to them, they'll toss it back, you'll let it bounce, toss it to them again, try to catch it out of the air. The approach shot, both slice and topspin, is one of the most misunderstood parts of the modern game. Everybody really wants to put that ball away and finish that point, because that's what we're seeing all the top players do nowadays. However, the approach shot at the end of the day is a setup shot. So I want to encourage everybody, when you're playing, focus on getting that ball in and setting yourself up for that volley. Even though we're stuck at home right now, we can keep getting better at our tennis game. If you don't have access to a racket, tennis balls, work on that footwork. Get set, stand, you're gonna move in, get set, do a practice swing, and then run in. Not only is this gonna help you with the footwork on your approach shot, but it's a great workout as well to get you sweating, get you moving right now when you're stuck inside your house. Thank you everybody for watching, and best wishes from me and everybody at USTA Florida.